Hello friends, in previous lecture we have seen DPT duct spectroscopy. What is duct spectroscopy? Actually it is the distortionless enhancement of polarization transfer spectroscopy, in which we have seen a spectrum in which there is CH3 and CH groups are shown the peak or spectra in upward direction. That means it shows the positive peaks. Okay, and CH2 carbon atom shows the negative peak in downward direction, and carbon which does not have any hydrogen atom, that type of carbon are null. That means it does not show any peak in the spectrum. Now in today's lecture we have seen another spectroscopy for C13 NMR. It's a 2D NMR spectroscopy. Name itself indicates that two-dimensional NMR spectroscopy, and it is also the most important, since through this we can identify our organic compound very easily. Using this different types of spectroscopy, this spectroscopy are useful to us to identify the organic compound. Its name is COSY. 2D NMR spectroscopy, its name is COSY. And what is the COSY? It's a correlated spectroscopy. Now, in correlated spectroscopy, when I said that it is a two-dimensional NMR spectroscopy, that means it has an x-axis and y-axis, and so it's very easy to know the relationship between the different types of protons, or we say that here a carbon atoms. What is the relation in between them? Here in 2D NMR, standard pulse sequence adds second frequency axis. That means here we see in previous spectroscopy there is only the one-dimensional spectroscopy that are, and so there is one axis here there. But in this spectroscopy there is two axes. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. According to these two axes here, they show the relationship between in between the two axes. Okay, only pulsed FT NMR. Actually, it's a frontier transitor NMR. Its name of spectrometer, NMR spectrometer. Only pulsed FT NMR spectrometer are capable of carrying out the 2D experiments. That means which NMR spectrometer we have used for the identify or doing the experiment is a FT NMR spectrometer. With the COSY, you can determine which signal corresponds to spin coupled protons. That means we have studied these points with the help of example here. That means which carbon atom is coupled with the another carbon atom. Okay. From this you can identify the structure with the help of COSY. Okay, identifying the coupling relationship, it's most important, since we have studied here COSY. It's a correlation. Okay, so this spectroscopy say the correlation or relation between the carbon atoms, adjacent carbon atoms here, with the help of two axes here. Okay, identifying the coupling relationship is a valuable aid to establishing a molecule's connectivity. So due to this, we can find out the connectivity of this carbon atom. Here I have taken one example, which is the 2-hexanone here. Yeah? Okay, if I have given the numbering to this carbon atom, this CH3 is first, this carbon is second, CH2 third, fourth, fifth and 6. Okay, it's a 2-hexanone. At second position there is carbonyl group, so it's a 2-hexanone. And I have write down some values here for the NMR. Okay, it's the values of NMR. That means 0.9, 1.3, 1.6, 2.4, 2.1. These values in NMR, it's a actual NMR values I have right here due to the simplification where the you get the points. Okay, so there is x-axis and another is the y-axis. in 1D NMR, what happened? There is H1 NMR spectrum of two hexagon along X and Y axis makes it easier to interpret the two-dimensional information, which is collection of counted objects contained within the axis. These are the counted objects. We say here this is the counted objects. Okay. These counted objects are along the X and Y axis. Okay. Here, which is at diagonal side. Many counters lie along the diagonal that runs from lower left, this lower left to upper right. Okay, from lower left to upper right, which bisects the two-dimensional NMR into two mirror images. Here we see that these counters bisect the axis into two mirror images to each other. Okay, so and another the off diagonal counters are called as cross peak and contain the connectivity information. In this, these are the counters which called as cross peak. Other than this diagonal counters, we called as cross peak here, and it is more important to say the connectivity between the carbon atoms here. Okay. Now we see the particular example here. Now here what I have given here is delta value, chemical shift value, and in y-axis there is also the chemical shift value. Okay. So here from right to left, chemical shift value increases. For example, 0 to 10. Okay, so I have written some most important values here according to the example for the convenience to understand to you. Okay, so whatever will be the chemical shift value we have obtained here, so I have written only those values: 0.9, 1.3, 1.6, 2.1 here, and 2.4. Like this in y-axis, also from top to bottom, value will be increases here. Okay. Now we go from 0.9 here. You know that in H1 NMR there is the triplet. Okay. I have studied this NMR system in C13 NMR system, but we use here only the two-dimensional structure, and I have write the H1 NMR value, so I have mentioned here. Okay, 0.9 it gives the triplet. Okay, at 0.9 CH3 gives the triplet due to the neighboring CH2 group. Okay, that means its connectivity with this CH2 group. Okay, this gives the multiplet, this CH2 gives the multiplet, this CH2 gives the triplet, and this CH3 gives the singlet. Okay, since neighboring group is carbonyl group, there is no any hydrogen containing carbon here, so it there is the singlet. Okay, you know that how the multiplicity will be obtained here. Okay, we are studying in the H1 NMR with this concept here. Now here CH3 gives the triplet and its relationship with the CH2. Okay, that means when we say that there here 0.9, there is the counter objects here, and it shows the relationship with the 1.3, and this is on y-axis there is the 1.3, it shows the relationship with this. Okay, and these cross peaks are for the relationship or connectivity, it shows the connectivity. Now 1.3, this is 1.3 and its connectivity with the CH2 and CH3, that is with the multiplet and with the triplet. You will be obtained here multiplet. Okay, so its connectivity with the multiplet as well as 0.9. This one is a triplet. Okay, this one is the triplet. Next one, 1.6. Its connectivity with the triplet and multiplet at 1.3 and 2.4. So see 1.6 here. So 1.6 here diagonal axis, and at 1.3 and 2.4. So at 2.4 we have get here a counter objects or cross peaks, and here at 1.3 we get the cross peaks. Okay, so there is multiplet and triplet. Okay, here see the multiplet and here see the triplet. Okay, according to this we can show the connectivity. Now this CH2 group which is at C3, that means we give the numbering, it's C3. Okay, so this CH2 gives the peak at 2.4. Okay, at 2.4, that means this one. Okay, now its connectivity with the 1.6. Now this cross peak shows this 2.4 is connected with the 1.6 here. Okay. Next one is the CH3, which shows the singlet, and at 2.1 there is the singlet, and at 2.1 in this line there is no connectivity, so there is no any cross peaks will be observed here. So due to the axis, or you can say that these two axes, x and y axis, two-dimensional structure, we can easily interpret the structure of the our molecule here. So I have told you that 2D NMR is very important. In this example, there is a cross peak with x coordinate of 2.4, finding the cross peak with y coordinate. Okay, this means protons are responsible for the signal at delta 2.4 are coupled to the 1.6 value. Okay, so in this way, coupling we can explain here. Finally, I have told you the vertical line drawn from 2.1 intersects no cross peak. The signal at 2.1 as expected is due to the protons at C1, that means first carbon atom, which are not coupled to any of the other proton in the molecule. Okay, so like this we can explain the 2D NMR COSY. Okay, in this COSY only we establish the connectivity of molecules, that means spin coupled with the another spin of carbon atoms here. So it's and this spectroscopy we are observed in the FT-NMR spectrometer. Okay, it's very easy spectroscopy to interpret the spectra of the structure of the compound. So here we completed the C13 NMR spectroscopy. Now we have started the mixed problem on H1, C30, mass and IR from next lecture. Okay, thank you very much.